Good evening, I'm Nate Pudabaugh with your sports update. Postseason awards continue to roll in for the Ohio State Buckeyes. 8 Buckeyes were named to the AP All-American team, with Jeremiah Smith, Caden McDonald, Arvell Reese, and Caleb Downs taking home first-team honors. The four were the most first-team honorees of any school. In NFL news, Patrick Mahomes has been shut down for the rest of the year with a torn ACL in his left knee. Green Bay defensive end Micah Parsons also suffered a season-ending ACL tear this weekend. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels was shut down by the team for the rest of the season with further injuries to his dislocated left elbow. Later this evening in Monday Night Football, Miami heads to Pittsburgh. Catch coverage immediately following the Buckeye Show. And the Phillip Rivers experiment isn't over yet. Rivers is expected to start next week for the Colts when they play Monday Night Football against the 49ers. And in NHL news, the Buffalo Sabres fired GM Kevin Adams, replacing him with former Blue Jackets GM Jarmo Kekalainen. Breaking sports news what happens to the fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
Bring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
Don't let that team steal it away. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Monday. I'm Brandon Beam hanging out with the Murph Dog, Patrick Murphy. We've got Nate behind the glass tonight. Pat, happy Reaction Monday to you, my friend. What's happening? Good to talk to you.
Yeah, good to talk to you too. It was weird this weekend. Like, there was some college football. Army, Navy, obviously.
We had bowl games this weekend.
The Washington game. But it was odd just, not working, because that's what both of us do.
You worked on Saturday night. There was a Buckeye basketball game.
Yeah, but it was just like the whole day. I had the whole day. I went up to Cleveland with the fiance, came back. And
did you come back on Saturday night,
We
too?
did, yeah. We were there for like 3.5 hours. They just were baking cookies, and then we had something Saturday night. Her mom had a baby shower, so there was no point to stay. So, yeah, we came back. We watched the Army-Navy game and some of the Washington game, obviously the Buckeye basketball game. But, yeah, it was just, that first Saturday when there's not really like your full slate of and conference championship weekend obviously counts. It's a bit of a shock to the system. Fortunately, we get back at it this weekend.
Yeah.
Not even this weekend, Tuesday.
Yeah, well, you think about, everything that, at least what I do during the college football season, and I'm sure everybody kind of has their rituals and routines, right? Like, that, all right, Ohio State's playing at noon or 3:30, 8 o'clock, whatever. Most likely they're going to be playing at noon. You just build your whole day around that.
Yeah.
Right? And they've been playing 13 out of the last 15 weeks, and even during a bye week, you've got other college games that are still going on. You're right. I was just kind of aimlessly wandering around the house on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do? What do I do with my hands? Like, there's not a whole lot going on. And then we had that snowstorm, came in a little bit earlier to do the pregame Buckeye basketball, just because I wanted to get here on time and didn't want anything crazy to happen. But yeah, to your point, you get back to it. I mean, you get the just so many bowl games now that's going to be kicking off. You get the college football playoffs that's going to start on Friday into Saturday. You're in the thick of playoff races across the NFL. So yeah, it was just a weird weekend. That is specifically, it's for that Army-Navy game, but now you're, like you said, you're thrust right back into college football madness.
Are you an Army-Navy game guy? Like, is that, you got to be somewhere to watch that game?
Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to go somewhere to watch it. Like, I was watching it at home, and then on the drive-in was listening to it here on the fan, and then got here with about, 4 minutes left and saw the craziness that happened at the end of the game. But yeah, it's appointment watching.
Yeah, we had it on the radio driving back, and then I had it on before we went out that evening. But I would say I enjoy that game, but there have certainly been years where I have not tuned in for one reason or another. But I do respect everything that goes on with that. And, I think in a sport that is changing traditions, I won't say getting rid of them, I'm glad that one still, it's got its weekend. Now, what's going to be weird, and it almost happened last year, like when one of those teams is a real college football playoff team, or, how do you handle, hey, we came out with the bracket.
Or a Heisman finalist.
Right, yeah.
What do you do?
Our quarterback is not going to be here because
luckily it's not too far away from Manhattan, so like you could, and the Army and Navy have plenty of ability through the air to be able to get somewhere, somebody somewhere pretty quickly. But yeah, I mean, I grew up like when the high school that I played for, we ran the triple option. So anytime I get to see service academies, 2 triple option teams against each other, like, yeah, I'm I'm watching that because I love the triple option. That and the T formation, best two formations and schemes in football, in my opinion.
Man, you hate the Buckeyes then.
Well, Chip Kelly ran it last year.
Yeah, good point.
He ran it a lot of times last year, and every time I got off my couch, you can ask my wife this, I said, T formation. T formation, there it is. We got a great show lined up for you here. Coming up in our next segment around 6:17. Got some All-Americans to go over for the Buckeyes. We'll do that. Bill Landis of the Bill and Doug Football Show. He's going to join the program coming up here at 6:30. We'll talk some Buckeyes with him. Crazy day in the transfer portal. Do that a little bit towards the end of the hour. College Football Pulse at 7 o'clock. Talk about the Buckeye Hoops team at 7:17. And then Mick Walker of Letterman Row. He's going to join us at 7:30. Talk all things Buckeyes, Buckeye recruiting, all kinds of good stuff. Pat, as we enter college football playoff week number 1 here, what are your biggest thoughts for the Buckeyes? Because we're still a couple of weeks away from Ohio State playing in their college football playoff game, in which we have no idea who the opponent's going to be, either Texas A&M or Miami.
That's it right there. For if we're looking at it from an Ohio State perspective, I think it is dialing in on that game and getting a sense of what you're going to face on New Year's Eve. I think both teams, I think you can make an argument either way that both teams could win that game. I know obviously Texas A&M will have the advantage being the higher seed playing that game at home. Should be a crazy atmosphere there.
I think.
There with the 12th man and all that. I think that'll be fun. So yeah, I'll be very dialed in on that. I'm going to start really watching back some of the games for both teams this week just to kind of get probably the bigger games, like the Miami Notre Dame game, Texas A&M
Notre Dame game.
Yes. Other than that, Texas A&M, I guess the Texas game at the end of the season, they didn't play many.
South Carolina, their monster comeback.
Yeah. And I watched a decent amount of that one just because of kind of how it was happening, and the Buckeyes played later that day. Beyond just the Buckeye stuff this week, I think watching. Last year I didn't get to watch. I watched the Indiana Notre Dame game that Friday night, but I didn't really get to tune in and really dial in on those games because the Buckeyes played Tennessee that night, as everyone knows.
Yep.
So it'll be fun to just be able to watch these, see the atmospheres, like Oregon hosting a college football playoff game. Now, is it going to be as crazy as it might have been if they'd gotten, a non-group of 5 team? Maybe not, but I still think that'll be interesting.
I don't know, but every one of
watch.
you guys that I talked to last year who came back from Autzen raved about it. And so, and I was listening to Austin and Eric Reeser talk this morning on Bishop and Friends, and I thought they were making a good point. Like, Austin was saying, I don't even know if they're going to sell that game out. I'm like, well, if you have any bit of pride as a fan and you are going to try to support your team, and this just being an Oregon-specific example, why would you not go to that football game? I think the resale tickets on them are $120 a piece is the cheapest get in the door price. Yeah, you raved about the atmosphere over there at Autzen. I know that you are not getting, choose your premier college football destination, but that's still, man, you're still hosting a playoff game. How cool is that? There's are limited opportunities that's ever happened. That's never happened for Oregon. So you get to be a first of its kind again. I know you probably, want to entertain more of the big dogs of the sport, but I think James Madison's got to be licking their chops, try to upset the number 5 team in the country. I don't know. I mean, if I were at one of these places and had the ability to get tickets, I certainly would try to get my hands on them.
Yeah, I think so. I just, do you know what the spread is on that game?
21.5.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think just given that this game probably won't take very long to get over, assuming we believe the betting odds there, it won't be the Ohio State-Oregon game atmosphere throughout the whole thing, right? If Oregon gets up big, the atmosphere won't carry over like it would if they were playing, say they drew Alabama.
Sure.
Or whatever. But yeah, I think, look, the Alabama-Oklahoma game that night, that should be awesome.
Yeah.
And we've seen these teams play already once this season. So a rematch there. I think just in general in these playoffs, we saw last year, obviously the Ohio State-Oregon being the main one, but how teams handle rematches, right? You're going to get it with Ole Miss Tulane in the first round. And you expect Ole Miss to win that, but you never know. So that's something that college football doesn't have a ton of, right? No. We've seen it a few times in conference championship games, but you see it in the NFL every year because of divisions.
Yeah,
and
sometimes you get 3 in the NFL.
So I'll be interested to see And obviously the one that everyone hopes to see is Ohio State, Indiana at the end there. But how teams that lost that first game in those meetings, how they handle the second game, sort of similar to what Ohio State did in the Rose Bowl last year.
What was it? Ole Miss 42-10 against Tulane the last time that they played earlier in the season. So yeah, I'm not really expecting much in that game. But hey, man, you got live college football on.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome. These are games that matter. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to here coming up this week. And then of course we'll be eyeballing that Miami and Texas A&M game really hard. That's noon on Saturday too, by the way. That's your schedule. On Saturday, you get that game. Pat, you just mentioned the Friday night game is Alabama at Oklahoma. The 3:30 game on Saturday is Tulane at Ole Miss. And then the night game, James Madison is at Oregon. So that's your schedule for this week. All kinds of good stuff. You got a bunch of bowl games too, kind of crammed in there. So football galore. It's back on tap. Ohio State, they've got a cavalcade of All-Americans. We're going to get into that coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun. Your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the Super Quick Auto Pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly. With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, where can you get a full suite of business banking services served up by well-trained, caring employees with unquestionable integrity? It's right here at Heartland. Relationships matter. I'm Scott McComb. Come over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Rare banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Picture it. Your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps, spiced cider in every glass, laughter around every plate. At Kroger, we know these moments matter, and we make it easier to bring them to life with quality that's affordable in every aisle. This season, don't just host, make every moment unforgettable. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Join now.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Fan weather
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A little breezy out there and still very cold. Temperatures only in the teens on this Monday. Overnight will drop back down to the low teens with lighter winds and some clearing. Some sunshine Tuesday. Temperatures back in the mid-30s and dry for the afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Are we drinking the scarlet and gray Kool-Aid? You bet we are. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Bill Landis, he's going to join us coming up here at 6:30. Talk all kinds of football, national stuff with him, Buckeyes with him. Again, he's going to join us at 6:30. Pat, what was your level of shock? And I know we were doing the show on Friday when Buckeye Lemon beat out Jeremiah Smith for the Bolitnikoff Award.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as much as Jeremiah in his tweet. But... yeah, look,
you can't play that on the air. You're going to have to go search that out yourself if you missed it.
Yes, it's a little clip from a movie. It says some bad words. I think it's not entirely surprising, given he missed a game. If you look at the stats, like he's right there with Buckeye Lemon, despite, I mean, he did end up playing the same number of games because he played in the Big Ten championship game. But I don't know. He's the best receiver in college football, maybe the best player in college football. And he's now gone 2 years without winning the Bolitnikoff. I
think the most stupefying part to me, and again, we were kind of going over this Friday when this happened. The craziest part to me about this entire thing is that he won your conference's best wide receiver award, okay? He did that. That's a fact. The guy who won the Bolitnikoff Award, Buckeye Lemon, terrific player, by the way. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. Resides also in the Big Ten. Like, I know the voting parameters were a little bit different, and the Bolitnikoff Award voting ended before the Big Ten championship game, and then the Heisman voting obviously continued on through the rest of that weekend. Also had Jeremiah Smith finish, sixth in the Heisman vote. He also finished first in your conference when first in your conference by winning that award for the best receiver. I understand why he is upset.
Also first team All-American.
Also first team All-American. That's what we were going to get into right here. He's going to be, and by the way, he's going to be a consensus All-American.
At least.
Too. Consensus means you have to do 3 of the 5, right? Mm-hmm. 3 of the 5 of the major publications. Yeah, and so the AP All-Americans came out today. 4 Ohio State players were named first team All-Americans. Caleb Downs, Cade McDonald, Arvell Reese, and Jeremiah Smith. All 4 of those players are also on their way to becoming consensus All-Americans, as they now are 2 for 2 in the major publications of getting first-teamers.
Yeah, after the Walter Camp, which came out actually also on Friday. I would not be surprised. Caleb Downs was a unanimous All-American last year. I would not be surprised if he and Jeremiah are both unanimous. Frankly, you could make the argument for all 4 of those guys. Now, I think it would not surprise me if Arvell doesn't, is a second team, or Caden's a second team, Caden McDonald's a second team guy on one of these. But I don't know how you leave Jeremiah off.
Also, too, do you know how hard it is to be a consensus defensive tackle All-American?
Right,
because people watch the game so differently, right? Again, I don't know how you watch the game, Pat, but I've told this.
I don't, actually.
I've told this so many times. When I'm watching football, my eyes go to the offensive and defensive line. I'm watching the trenches. That's where my eyes are. Some people are watching the receiver. Some people are just watching the ball, which is fine. But immediately upon the snap of the ball, I'm watching the line. And for Cade McDonald to be able to get that big of a nod to already have gotten an AP All-American vote, another services All-American vote, and be a first teamer, that is, I think it speaks to what the Ohio State defense is doing, and he is obviously a main reason of why they are so good this season, because that middle is plugged, buddy. Like, there is not a whole heck of a lot getting past Caden McDonald, and you see what he does and causes havoc in the backfield as well. I mean, he's terrific.
He's the guy that Ohio State has kind of been waiting for years. Now they've figured out other ways. Think of like a Draymond Jones, a guy who was a defensive end, kind of like Edric Houston.
Yeah, different builds.
Yeah,
much different builds.
And they just haven't. I mean, Tyleek Williams and Ty Hamilton kind of did that, but he's taken it to another level. He is the body type, that dominant guy, similar to what Michigan's had the last couple of years, right? With their guys on the interior, and he has been that player that I don't want to say they lacked, because they've been able to make up for it in other ways on the interior of the defensive line. But he is like your stereotypical guy. It's why he's going to be a pretty high pick, I imagine, in the NFL draft.
I also think to your point, it opens up so much space for the linebackers to roam. Like when you've got an interior defensive lineman like that who's gobbling up 2 or 3 blockers and is able to command a presence. Like, there's a reason why Arvell Reese is playing at the level that he is. Now, a lot of that is Arvell Reese and the hard work and dedication that he's put into his craft. Another reason why you also see Sonny and Arvell having these kind of years is because of not necessarily maybe the production that the defensive line is having, but just the efficiency in which they're able to attack an offense, which allows your backers way more space. And if those guys have hot reads on anything, like in a second, in an instant, they can fill whatever gap that they need.
Right. I mean, he not only does he do what he has done statistically, which I think he's 4th on the team in tackles, and it's all impressive. Go look at the numbers. I won't read them to you. But yeah, he is creating space for other guys, be it the linebackers, even the defensive ends to some degree, right? Absolutely, because you have to put the attention on him on the interior. You can't slide guys outside to help block Caden Curry, who was a second-team All-American, or Kenyatta Jackson, who, if he doesn't play sort of that contain role early in the season, he's probably right there statistically with the rest of those guys.
Other first-team All-Americans, we talked about Arvell Reese right there, Jeremiah Smith, obviously, and then Caleb Downs receiving first-team honors. Yeah, I think you talk about unanimous All-Americans. And again, it's so tough to get one of these first-team votes, right? Like, even to get one is an incredible accomplishment. And we're talking about some rare air in which you may get 4 guys to be consensus. But if I were a betting man, I would say that Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs are both going to get unanimous All-Americans, which is all 5 of the major outlets that produce these.
Yeah. I'm glad to see Caleb getting this, because his statistics haven't been quite as, it's kind of come down each year. Alabama, he had over 100 tackles. Last year, I think he was second on Ohio State, and then this year he's been good, but statistically maybe not as great. And I've seen some people outside of the Ohio State sphere suggest, like, this is a guy who's just getting the Thorpe Award or these recognitions because of his name. If you watch the game, man, I know statistics may not tell that story.
It's so
but
hard for a defensive back, though. Like, if you watch the game, again, you can go back and watch, I don't know, any game this year, pick whichever favorite that your was. Focus on what Caleb Downs is doing, because there are times where you will go 1, 2, 3 quarters and not hear his name. That doesn't mean that he's taken off. It's like, where's Caleb? He's not, he's not getting in there. He's not getting his nose dirty, whatever. He's eliminating half of the field.
You can't get tackles if no one is throwing the ball within a mile of you.
He is eliminating half the field by just existing and doing what he is doing in this defense. The crazy thing about me is, like, you see on social media, like, oh, Caleb Downs, not a great year. Look at his stats. I'm like, you don't need to watch the stats. The stats mean absolutely nothing for him. Watch how teams attack where number 2 is at on the football field.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you see the versatility. He can play deep safety.
Yep.
He can come down in the box. He can cover like a corner, and they bring him on blitzes, and he's good at all of those things. You just need to look at where he is going to get drafted next year. He's going to be a top 10 pick, and that's going to tell you all you need to know, because the NFL people, for the most part, know what they're doing when it comes to scouting those guys.
You might maybe giving some NFL teams too much credit.
Well, I guess the ones picking the top 10 outside of, guys or teams that have, maybe traded previously, they could get themselves into the top 10. But those other teams, they might have some issues.
Other All-Americans today, second teamers, Sonny Styles and Carnell Tate. Third teamers, again, this is from the AP list, Caden Curry and then Julian Sayin. It's so funny, too, because I feel like, I don't know, a lot of people here in Ohio State land, we obviously have seen what Arvell Reese did this year. In the first half of the season, he was an absolute game wrecker, right? And I think his mission probably changed a little bit in the second half of the season. I would have to go back and watch how they were deploying him in the first half compared to how they were deploying him in the second half of the season. I think that Arvell Reese, at least right now in these last couple of games of the year, Pat, you've seen him more in a coverage role. And again, that's all scheme. Matt Patricia and those guys on the defensive side are coming up for different roles and different game plans to unique teams. That's what Matt Patricia was known for, right? Like in the NFL, the game plan each week is going to be a little bit different. And so Arvell's got a ton of love, great first 6 games, and then it's kind of been a different role that I feel like he's been deployed in the first half. Sonny Styles has had an equally as good of second half of the season as Arvell Reese had a first half. Sonny Styles, only player in college football this year to not miss a single tackle. You know how hard that is to do as a linebacker when you're asked to go back and cover, you're asked to go and get your nose in and stop a running back, or to be able to catch a wide receiver or tight end on the outs. Like, it's one of the more mind-boggling stats that I think I've heard of. A linebacker not missing a single tackle all year long when he's played like 80% of the snaps on defense this year.
Yeah, he's been great. No doubt about that. I think well-deserved. I also am glad to see Carnell get recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Misses 3 games, so I thought maybe, okay, his stats, again, going back to the statistics, aren't as gaudy as they could have been, but clearly one of the best wide receivers in college football, deserves to be in there. And Caden Curry, too. I'm honestly actually surprised he wasn't a second-team All-American there, because I think he's
had so many monster games this year.
He's been great. And it's interesting, him, and I'll group Kenyatta Jackson in with him, because those guys, we talked about it, they waited their turn. You don't see that a ton anymore. And then they delivered. It's not like, hey.
We spent the whole offseason talking about what this defensive line was going to be.
Right.
The entire offseason.
And I think it wouldn't have been crazy if those guys had come out and been good but not great. They'd sat behind. Clearly they hadn't been able to overcome JT Tuimoloau and Jack Sawyer. But they have looked every bit the part of a guy that you might even think, why weren't they playing a little bit more, honestly?
I know.
Not to, Larry Johnson knows what he's doing. I'm not taking anything away. Obviously, they won a national championship last year, so no questions there. But you see the production there, and it's okay, good for them. They wait their time. You like to see that in a sport that doesn't see that very much anymore. And they go out and produce. And, obviously, Kenyatta Jackson not named an All-American, but I do think he has been very impactful for this team, along with Caden Curry.
You had mentioned Caden Curry, third-team All-American, and then Julian Sayin as well, third-team All-American. Finished 4th in the Heisman voting over the weekend. Caleb also finished 9th in the Heisman voting. So 3 Buckeyes in the top 10 for that award. Of course, Fernando Mendoza, the IU gunslinger. He got it done on Saturday. Bill Landis of the Bill and Doug Football Show. He's going to join us. We'll talk some Buckeyes with him coming up in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
You're kind of cute. Ugh, gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tighty-whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair. Dormar!
You're kind of cute.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save big on Kroger brand Hickory smoked spiral bone and ham. Just 89 cents a pound with your card and additional $25 purchase. Limit 2. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Don't miss a minute of the Ohio State football postseason presented by CareSource, Kroger, and Spectrum. Celebrate the culmination of the 2025 season with all of Buckeye Nation and follow along on the official athletic site. From the opening postseason kickoff to the final whistle in Miami, we have you covered. It's the 2025 Ohio State football postseason presented by CareSource, Kroger, and Spectrum. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/postseason central 2025 now for more information. Go Bucks!
You get up early on snow days because snowed in is not an option.
The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to thrive in the winter. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $6,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Find your local Kubota dealer at BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best damn radio show in the land. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Coming up 1 hour from right now at 7:30, Mick Walker of Letterman Row. He's going to join us. As for now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, checking with our good friend of the Bill and Doug Football Show. He is Bill Landis. Bill, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. I would be under the assumption that your positivity bunny escaped harm yesterday with the Eagles' performance.
Yes, yeah. The positivity bunny survived another weekend.
Okay, very good. Yeah, everything looked fine in there in Philly. I'm just watching highlights right now, and so I don't know. I guess we can squash all that beef at least for another week for your birds. Bill, what's your biggest, takeaway, biggest thought about this Ohio State Buckeye football team right now, as they still have a couple of more weeks before they face off with either Texas A&M or Miami down in the Cotton Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about the offensive line a lot and what they're going to do there. I know friend of the program, Austin Ward, reported earlier today that Tegra Shabola had to undergo a procedure, so it sounds like he's not going to be available for the Cotton Bowl. You know, and I think a lot of us wondered, you know, even if he was healthy, what exactly that might look like, given some of the inconsistencies this year. But they got to get that right. Like, you know, this time last year, I think we were all pretty uncertain about what that offensive line was going to be capable of going into the postseason. I think they're in a pretty decently better spot now, but they still need to be better than what they showed against Indiana. And I think if they are, that sort of settles everything back into place. There aren't, frankly, a lot of questions about this team. I really don't have any on the defensive side, and the few that I have on the offensive side kind of centered on the offensive line. So if they can get that group playing well going into this playoff, then I think they're going to have a pretty good shot to repeat.
Bill, I know there's been a lot of talk about the usage of tight ends and how often and how many the Buckeyes had against Indiana. Where do you stand on using tight ends versus not, where the Buckeyes should fall on that, and how they deploy those guys?
Yeah, I think they definitely got a little tight end happy, I think. I like the 12 personnel, the two tight end sets. I think probably their best grouping is 12 personnel with Carnell and Jeremiah, and then Will Kaczmarek and Max Clare out there. But that group together, I think, only played like 12 snaps against Indiana. So I don't know, like some guys are banged up, and you're kind of trying to preserve people for the postseason while also trying to win a Big Ten championship. There's a lot that goes into it, but you know, like generally playing two tight ends, I think I'm good with. It's when they play the 3 and the 4 where it hasn't always looked good, and it's just a little puzzling to me at times, especially when they're in the red zone, to take guys like Jeremiah and Carnell off the field. So you know, there's been times this year where it's looked good, and obviously others where it's not looked good. And the Indiana game was probably the worst example of it being used too much. So I'm thinking that probably gets them out of that thinking a little bit. Will we still see 3 and 4 tight ends at times? I'm sure it's a deep position group, but I don't think they'll be so reliant on it moving forward.
Bill, I know you're a film junkie. When they go to this 13-14 personnel that we're talking about, what makes it, I don't want to say ineffective. I think ineffective is not a great word for it, but I think when you compartmentalize ineffectiveness compared to what they do in 12 personnel or when they are split out, you know, it does become ineffective because the game obviously shrinks a little bit. Like, where are you seeing the ineffectiveness when they get into those 3-4 sets with tight ends on the field?
I think it's mostly they just become a little predictable, right? Like those are run formations for Ohio State, and that's not surprising to anybody. I think it can be useful, but the thing that was puzzling to me, like even if you go back to the Big Ten title game and that 3rd and 1 where they threw the ball to Bennett Christian in the end zone, like, you know, they're in 14 personnel there, I believe, with 4 tight ends on the field, but Max Clare is not one of them. Like, you know, you're going to be in that situation and you're going to try to give them the okie doke by throwing the ball, but you don't have your best receiving tight end on the field. That's what's a bit puzzling to me. So I think it's primarily predictability. I still think maybe they're asking some of the tight ends to do stuff they're not great at when you think about like Nate Roberts playing fullback or some of the inconsistencies with run blocking. So Ryan Day has talked all year about wanting to make sure they're putting the guys in the best positions they can be in to kind of play as the best version of themselves. And it felt like they were doing that more or less in the back half of the season. And then I think they just kind of got away from that principle in the Big Ten title game.
Speaking of putting guys in the best position to win, if you were Ryan Day and you know what Brian Hartline's going through, changing jobs and balancing two jobs at once, what are you putting yourself in as the head coach in terms of the offensive play calling leading into this game on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, Ryan Day has, I've asked him, I think, twice about that now. And he's kind of played it close to the vest, which I get. I suppose there's no value in divulging what they're doing. But if I were him, I would be taking over play calling full time. I think I would be at the head of the room for offensive game planning, and I would be the guy who's calling the plays. And that doesn't mean that Brian Hartline gets marginalized necessarily. He has a big hand to play in offensive game planning. He had one last year, and I think got shout outs from Ryan Day a couple times during the postseason as they went through that. And it's this collective sort of offensive brain trust that really gets it all done. But if they went through the regular season with Brian Hartline kind of spearheading that as the offensive coordinator, I just don't know if he can do that to the best of his ability while also trying to do what he needs to do for South Florida over this next month or however long it lasts. And I've seen comparisons to Tom Herman doing it when he was on the staff in 2014. It's very different. There was no transfer portal back then, right? It wasn't a 12-team playoff. It's not even comparable in my opinion. The only commonality is that they're both leaving, but other than that, I don't think the circumstances are really the same. And I just think, it's not an unmanageable situation, but you just so happen to be positioned with your head coach being an offensive expert. Why would you not lean into that to try to make this challenge a little less daunting than it needs to be?
Yeah, there was no transfer portal. NIL wasn't even a thing yet. It's a much different world than we were living in that 2014 national championship run. As we check in with Bill Landis of the Bill and Doug Show, you can give them a follow, give them a listen wherever you get your podcast from. Also on YouTube, like and subscribe to their channel. Bill, what was your takeaway for? And I know what Pat and I are going to talk about it in the next segment. Portal combat has already gone kind of crazy. We saw DJ Lagway today, Aiden Childs, maybe to a lesser extent out of Michigan State, Dylan Raiola, just a couple of names who are reported to get into the portal. Just your takeaway from what was a crazy day, and it's not going to be the last one that we see here in the coming days on that front.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that. I guess it was a 2024 quarterback class where Julian Sains at the top.
Yeah.
And he transferred for very different reasons, but now the other two guys in the top three, and Dylan Raiola and DJ Lagway, have transferred too. It's craziness. I get it, and some of these guys, have new head coaches at their programs, and I guess I saw some reporting that said Lagway's, initial meetings with the new Florida staff that did not go well. Maybe he just needs to change of scenery. The Raiola thing is weird to me. I actually thought that Nebraska did quite a bit to try to make the situation around him better. And obviously he got hurt this year, which is unfortunate. But I'm surprised at that one, I guess, because that felt like maybe there had just been too much commitment on both sides for anyone to walk away. And I'm super interested to see what his market looks like, because he's got the 5-star pedigree, but has not quite lived up to it. Really none of these guys have. But you see these programs, right? Like the Indianas, the Oregons. I'm assuming LSU now with Lane Kiffin there, that are probably going to live and die by what's available in the portal at the quarterback position. So now that these guys are kind of putting their name out there, I'm just really kind of fascinated to see who ends up where, and ultimately how these guys are evaluated, because I don't know that many of them have played very well to this point in their careers, but they're going to be highly coveted regardless. So it's going to be pretty fascinating to see how that plays out.
Bill, if you were making the decision up in Ann Arbor about the next head coach, who would be your first realistic call?
Man, I don't know. It's such a mess. I mean, I get the Kalen DeBoer stuff. I don't know. He's referring to a statement he put out on Twitter, which doesn't deny anything. So I think he's probably still in play if he wants to do that. Maybe if Oklahoma beats Alabama next weekend, I could see that happening. I think that the perfect guy would have been Matt Campbell, right? But Penn State got him. So I truly don't know what they're going to do. I don't think, for as much as I see Jesse Minter's name floated out there as a potential candidate, I think I'd just be shocked if they went to another guy off the Harbaugh tree. It seems like they should probably wipe their hands of all of that and use this as a chance to get a clean slate and start over. But with whatever they're doing, the investigation into the athletic department and who's actually making the hire, I truly don't know. It seems quite messy, and I think this is something that could have a lasting impact on Michigan for a couple of years.
Absolutely, it is, right? And Pat and I spent a good part of last week talking about, what a crown jewel of a job it is, and to be at this juncture of the season and to have coaches already getting contract extensions or people being hired by other places. They are behind the eight ball, but it is a monster job that someone has got to fill.
Yeah, but you're right. Like it's a premier job. It's all the stuff that Kenny Dillingham said the other day about sort of like what that logo means and what it affords you and what you can do once you're there. Like I think is all true, but they've just made it such a mess. Like they just taken this thing that should be super appealing to everybody and just like coated it in dog crap. I don't know why anybody would want to really go near that job at the moment. Like I get Bryce Underwood's there and that's a heck of a player to try to work with for a couple of years, assuming he stays, and like you can get good players there, but I don't know, man. There's just bad vibes there, and I don't know that I'd want to be the guy coming in from the outside, taking all that on, sort of unsure what's lurking around the next corner. I think I'd rather just kind of let it play out and, I don't know, maybe let interim head coach Biff Poggi run the show for a year and then see what it looks like a year from now.
What game are you most looking forward to in the playoffs this weekend, Bill?
I think the A&M Miami game, and not only because it's Ohio State's next opponent. I just think that's a pretty high-level matchup. Two teams that are kind of good on both sides of the ball. Like Oklahoma, Alabama, I think could be compelling, but Oklahoma's offense stinks. Like that could be like a 20-13 game for all I know. I do think there's a pretty high entertainment value with A&M Miami, but then also you kind of get to get a vibe for what Ohio State's going to be facing in the Cotton Bowl. So that's what I'm most excited for.
Bill, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on. Have a great rest of your Monday, and we will check in again soon, okay?
All right, thanks, guys. See ya.
There he goes. Bill Landis of the Bill and Doug Show with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Go listen to the podcast, the Bill and Doug Show, anywhere you get your podcasts at. They got a YouTube channel by the same name. Him and Doug Lesmerises talking ball. It's a couple of dudes talking ball out there. Great stuff from him, as always. As we just mentioned right there, the transfer portal is going to be an absolute mess this offseason. We'll get into that coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Get ECO.
Aaron, are we still doing that crazy thing you said?
Which crazy thing do you mean, Jerry?
The one where we give away up to $1,500 in free repairs on furnaces?
Get ECO.
Yes, Jerry, we'll be doing that $1,500 giveaway from now on.
But why? It's crazy!
People are being told they need a whole new furnace when all they really need is a minor repair.
So we're saying they should call ECO to repair it and keep repairing it until someday when they really do need a new HVAC system.
We'll give them back all the money they paid us to fix their old furnace and air conditioner.
When they let us install the new ones.
All those extra years of service that they squeezed out of their old furnace and air conditioner become a free gift from ECO.
Does any other company do this?
Of course not, Jerry. It's crazy.
Get ECO. ECO. Get ECO. ECO.
Generous plumbers, Merry Christmas electricians, and buy a kid a new toy this year, HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
The 2026 Buckeye Cruise for Cancer sets sail on the Silver Sea Silver Ray. It's an intimate ship with an even better experience. It's all-inclusive of beverages, shore excursions, taxes, and gratuities. Sail to bucket list ports like the Grand Turk, St. Martin, and St. Thomas. With Buckeye greats including Ryan Day, Bobby Carpenter, A.J. Hawk, the Boren Brothers, Ezekiel Elliott, Ryan Shazier, and more. Sailing from Fort Lauderdale, February 17th through the 24th. Call 614-792-6204 to book today.
Toyota-thon is on, and there's no better way to get in the spirit of the season than with a new Toyota. Now through January 5th, get 4.75 APR financing on any remaining new 25 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Or lease a new gas-powered RAV4 LE for $279 a month for 39 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
New creamy parm pizzas are now at Donato's.
a decadent new sauce on 2 delicious new pizzas. Try the crave-worthy chicken veggie parm with roasted chicken, fresh veggies, and that rich, creamy parm base. Or the savory bacon spinach parm, where smoky bacon meets fresh spinach for parm pizza perfection. Craving something different? Create your own creamy parm pizza today. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
T-Bone and Tybus.
I'm trunk heavy. That's kind of what I am doing.
You hold all your weight in your legs.
Yeah, look at me. I mean, it's all everywhere, but bottom half, I'm thick. I'm a thick bottom.
T-Bone and Tybus Mornings on the Fan is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hey, Columbus. It's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
These savings are so good. Right now, get low lease payments on every model, like a new 2026 Elantra SE for just $119 a month for 24 months. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Go now. Columbus or Dublin or glexhyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus taxes, fees, first month payment, 12K miles per year, ends 1/2/26.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. If you still have a weird rash from jumping in Mirror Lake, we can be friends. This is the Buckeye Show.
You ever do that at your time at Ohio State? You ever do the Mirror Lake jump?
Oh, did I? Let's just leave it at that.
Okay. I never did. I never
What?
did. No, I chickened
What?
out. I chickened out. I didn't want to do it. I was there for, let's see here, how many, because it got, I think it ended maybe like during our senior year, so it wasn't a thing, but our junior year, Meredith did it. She did it. I went with her. I held her jacket while she did it. And I just looked at her and I'm like, I'm not doing it. But you also know this from me, Pat.
Yeah, this doesn't surprise me.
And I don't, thank you, Nate. I'll boo myself on it. It's a lifelong regret, and I'll never have the opportunity to be able to do it again.
We could figure out a way.
Yeah, you're probably right. We know enough people over at Ohio State. We'll just go take a dip after the show tonight.
All right.
Yeah,
It's about as cold as it was some of those nights I did it.
I don't know. It seems rather cold out this evening to be doing that. I'm always a person like I'm not a peer pressure guy. I'm not gonna succumb to peer pressure. All right. You have tried this. Our great friends have tried this on me. And Meredith, God love her, that night, she's like, come on, do it. Do it. You're going to regret not doing it. I'm like, I'm not jumping in that lake. I'm not going to do it. And she was right. I actually do regret it, not being able to do that. It's like it's one of the few regrets I have in my life.
We could do a whole segment on Mirror Lake stories, not just mine and your recounting of Meredith's, but I'm sure we could get the YouTube chat and plenty of people to send us in their Mirror Lake stories because, man, those are some
wild nights.
Yes.
You've done it, Nate. So I'm outnumbered. I'm outnumbered 2-1 here.
Maybe that's an off-season topic. We just talk Mirror Lake for a segment.
Afro Duck.
Yeah.
Talk about him.
Yeah.
Mirror Lake Creamery, fantastic ice cream.
Yes, very good.
Yeah. But never did it.
Yeah.
Never did it, unfortunately.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
I was also, too, when my friends would ice me in college.
Yeah.
And be like, here you go. And if nobody knows that, you can go look it up on the internet. I'm going to explain to you what icing is. I would look at it and be like, I'm not doing it. Like, what do you mean you're not doing it? I said, I'm not doing it. So you can drink that if you would like. But me personally, I'm not getting down on a knee and drinking it. And they're like, well, what fun you are. I'm like, I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
You're great at parties. I've seen it.
I don't go. I don't go. I choose not to go.
Yeah.
I choose not to go. And if I do choose to go, it's got to be on my own terms.
Right.
And there's an explicit time where I'm like, all right, 9 o'clock, I'm out of here. Let's go home. Everybody, it's time to leave. The transfer portal, it was
nice
crazy.
Segue.
Thank you. There was no good segue out of that. Transfer portal today was crazy. We were just talking to Bill Landis from the Bill and Doug Football Show. Again, you can go back to the podcast and listen to that if you missed it, or watch the YouTube show. But just a crazy day. DJ Lagway, I think, was the first one to get in the portal. So he released a statement. He's going to be leaving the University of Florida. You also had Aiden Childs in there from Michigan State. You have Dylan Raiola from Nebraska, who's going to be looking for different schools. It's just these aren't going to be the first guys. And I know that we have already had a couple of more enter today. I'm kind of already losing track of the amount of players in the transfer portal, and we haven't even gotten to the first weekend of the first college football playoff games.
It's just, and we've said this a lot, like the fact that this is happening, players are getting ready to become free agents or becoming free agents, and the postseason hasn't even started yet, is just wild. And I get, look, it's hard to do because you have the academic calendar that you're still working with, right? So I hear people all the time say, well, just do it after the playoff's over. Well,
those spots are filled then.
Yeah, and like it becomes difficult if you're trying, if you know, academics is still part of this, and for now, yes. So you do have to enroll at the school, and there becomes a deadline where you can't do that. And I don't know where it is, and it changes based on schools, but it does make it complicated. But yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be, I imagine, another crazy transfer portal window. We only have one this time too. So if you're thinking about it at all,
you got to go.
You're getting in. Like, you know, you're not, I don't think you're going to see guys that, I mean, even think, what was it? Josh Simmons, he entered the transfer portal in the winter, but ended up staying at San Diego State for the spring and then entered again. And that's how he ended up at Ohio State, if I remember that correctly.
It's the portal combat. You never know what's going to happen in there.
And so, you know, I'll be interested.
Bryson Rodgers entered the portal.
And came back.
And then came back to Ohio State. Yes.
Love this.
Portal combat, man. It's craziness. I'm on On3's website right now. All right. This is all from today. This was 9 hours ago. Florida quarterback DJ Lagway plans to enter NCAA transfer portal. Eastern Carolina quarterback Caton Hauser plans to enter transfer portal. Michigan State quarterback Aiden Childs plans to enter transfer portal.
He's an interesting one.
Aiden Childs?
Yeah.
I know he is. He
like
came
under the radar interesting.
That's why I wanted to mention him too, because I do think he is a pretty good quarterback. I don't know the situation. Obviously, it wasn't very good up at Michigan State because they fired Jonathan Smith. So who knows? I think a team could utilize him, and he'll be all right with that. Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola expected to enter transfer portal. And then you go up a little bit more. Georgia State quarterback TJ Finley plans to enter the transfer portal. Put a pin in him real quick. Oklahoma State quarterback Zane Flores plans to enter the transfer portal. By the way, TJ Finley has such an interesting story.
Isn't he like 42 at this point?
I don't know how old he is. I don't know what his age is.
He's looking for a 7th year of eligibility.
7th year of eligibility, and his 7th different team in 7 years. LSU 2020, COVID year. He spent 21 and 22 at Auburn. He played for Texas State in 23, Western Kentucky in 24, was at Tulane in the spring, this past spring, but started for Georgia State this fall. So he entered the transfer portal twice. That's 3 times in 1 year that you have a quarterback entering the portal. Again, he's not going to be the last one to be able to do this. The NCAA rules and regulations on eligibility things are a mess. I don't blame anyone for if you can get $1 in the NIL world and some team is going to be willing to pay you to go and play football at their school, certainly exhaust all the options you can. But also, you get these amount of players, and this isn't including, I was just reading the names of quarterbacks. I mean, there are plenty of other players who are non-quarterbacks who have obviously entered the transfer portal as well. There's a lot of these guys, Pat, who will get in the portal and will not get picked up by a team. Their career is over without them even knowing it.
Yeah, and we saw that a lot these last couple of years of guys that think, especially if you're trying to go up a level, okay, you enter the portal, well, now your scholarship gets filled by, you know, high school player or a new transfer portal player, and then you can't find a school, and you know, it's a really unfortunate, unintended consequence of all this. And then and obviously this won't happen this way because of no spring portal, but remember the Nico Iamalava stuff last year?
That was a mess.
When he transfers to UCLA, UCLA's quarterback, who was an incoming transfer, leaves and goes to Tennessee where Nico just left.
Yeah.
Like, free agency is crazy in professional sports. We see it. The NBA has made an entire league around that recently. The NFL started.
But those have rules.
Yes, and that's was going to be my point.
Those have dates and specific rules, and even to the point in the NFL now where you have and same in the NBA, where you have a legal tampering period. Right? Where it's like, hey, I know that there's back channel talks going on. We're just going to make it legal that you can talk to these guys between the actual dates of where free agency opens. It's still mayhem right now for college football. Absolute mayhem. It's pandemonium. And again, Dylan Raiola and DJ Lagway, two of the biggest names that you're going to find right now, at least as of now, in the transfer portal. Like Dylan Raiola, I thought, pretty good first couple of years at Nebraska. DJ Lagway, I thought he was terrific his first year, obviously dealing with that leg injury, foot injury, whatever he was going with this year. Understand that. He had a change in coach. Like, all right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go somewhere else. Dylan Raiola, his uncle was fired from Nebraska. His brother decommitted, and now he said, I'm out of here too. So, I mean, Dylan Raiola, it wasn't for a lack of play time or a lack of development. I think he looked better this year than he did last year. So, I mean, rhyme and reason, everybody's different, but those are the two of the biggest ones from today.
I agree with what Bill said about Dylan. I thought that things were, from an outside perspective, I thought things were progressing well. They seem to be moving in the right direction before he gets hurt. Is it perfect? No, but they'd catered to him quite a bit. I thought he was playing pretty well.
Texas
Maybe not.
Tech.
Well, that's our.
Go to Texas
Some people
Tech.
have already reviewed that, but I just think. And then you talk to people around, the national scene or the Nebraska program, and it was like, oh, this isn't much of a surprise. So clearly something wasn't working out the way they thought. Obviously, you mentioned his brother, his uncle. I mean, I guess maybe I shouldn't be surprised given how, and it's not a slight on him, but just how his recruitment went and switching high schools, moved to Georgia. I think he played.
This will also be his 6th different team in 7 years.
Yeah, I think, if you go back to high school, yeah. So I guess maybe not as surprising, but I don't know. That's a kid. I got to know him a little bit. I won't, we'll have Mick Walker on here. Obviously, he probably knows him much better, any of the guys that covered him recruiting, but he was at Ohio State quite a bit. I talked to him a good amount when he was around, and, seems like a good family, all this. So it's just odd. I hope for his sake he ends up somewhere. I hope for all these guys' sake they end up somewhere where, they don't look back and say, wow, I made a big mistake.
Like me, not jumping into Mirror Lake.
Yeah.
Kalen DeBoer is focused on nothing but Oklahoma this weekend. Wink, wink, nod, nod. That's in the Pulse coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We are your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
As a former pro athlete, confidence has always been key for me on and off the field. And that's why I chose CAP for my NeoGraft treatment. They've got a great reputation. After doing my research, I knew I could trust the team right here in town. The staff was professional, answered every question, and made the whole process smooth and stress-free. The results are natural. It fit my busy schedule, and I already feel more confident. CAPS made it easy, judgment-free, and honestly, one of the best decisions I've made. Visit CAPS today at experiencecaps.com.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
This is Paul Keels for RV Wholesalers. Peace of mind. That's what you get when purchasing your next RV from RV Wholesalers. With every new RV purchase, Ohio residents receive the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. If your RV is in the shop, RV Wholesalers will give you a free loaner. Also with a Buckeye Service Guarantee, you'll receive free delivery in the state of Ohio and 3-day RV exchange. That's the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. Only at RV Wholesalers in Lakeview, Mansfield, Delaware, and RVW.com. RV Wholesalers, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Already prepping for next week's matchup? Get your best rest yet with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop Bob's and choose from pillow soft, plush, dual feel, and extra firm mattresses with Bobopedic memory foam that will have you dreaming of game day in no time. So shop in-store or online to score the latest and affordable luxury mattresses without the luxury price tag. Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus, The Fan.
Good evening, I'm Nate Puderball with your sports update. Postseason awards continue to roll in for the Ohio State Buckeyes. 8 Buckeyes were named to the AP All-American team, with Jeremiah Smith, Caden McDonald, Arvell Reese, and Caleb Downs taking home first-team honors. The 4 were the most first-team honorees of any school. In NFL news, Patrick Mahomes has been shut down for the rest of the year with a torn ACL in his left knee. Green Bay defensive end Micah Parsons also suffered a season-ending ACL tear this weekend. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels was shut down by the team for the rest of the season with further injuries to his dislocated left elbow. Later this evening in Monday Night Football, Miami heads to Pittsburgh. Catch coverage immediately following the Buckeye Show. And in NHL news, the Buffalo Sabres fired GM Kevin Adams, replacing him with former Blue Jackets GM Jarmo Kekalainen. This update brought to us by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling, together to serve you better. Schedule today at thewaterworks.com. Breaking sports news and events of the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hour number 2 of the program for us. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out tonight. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out in the YouTube chat as well. You can always like and subscribe to the page, live and local, all day long. You can watch your favorite shows. Before we go any further in the College Football Pulse and turn things over to Nate, I want to let you know, coming up at 8 o'clock, we'll get you out to the Steel City as the Pittsburgh Steelers are entertaining the Miami Dolphins. I know that you're watching. I'm going to be watching this game as well. This game means nothing to me tonight. Absolutely nothing. I know that the Steelers are trying to get their foothold, in the AFC North and what's going on with the playoffs, and the Dolphins are somehow miraculously, I think, still in playoff contention, but two teams very underwhelming this season.
Yeah, our buddy, whose name we don't speak on here, has a thing he says to me, like, that's a second screen game. Usually, that goes on the iPad. Like, I'm fortunate to have 2 TVs in the living room, as you know.
Yep.
That goes on. This will go on the second screen. Usually,
what are you watching
prime
first
time?
screen?
I don't know.
Something else.
I might. Sarah and I started the second Avatar movie because the third one comes out on Friday.
The Way of Water.
Yes, as she had not seen either of them, so we're going to. So we'll finish the second one, which is like 3 hours and 18 minutes or something.
3 hours and 18 minutes of the same movie as the first one.
Yes, it is.
But underwater.
But there's water, Nate.
Yeah.
There's water.
He actually took time to master the underwater thing, which wasn't as good in the first one.
Yeah.
I've paid a lot of attention to this James
I was underwhelmed. We went to see it in theaters a couple of years ago when it came out. I walked out there. I'm like, listen.
I felt nothing coming out of that film.
Like, my hot take on movies, I'm like, 98% of them are fine. Like, fine, you walk away, you're like, that was pretty entertaining. There, of course, are bad movies out there. But I'm like, it was okay. I mean, it certainly wasn't the first movie. Actually, it was the first movie. It was just underwater. So you're going to have to let me know how the third one is.
Yeah.
When you go see
the third one's fire and ash.
Oh, so it's just going to be the first and second movies.
I have no idea what the plot of this movie is going to be. There's going to be like
aliens.
It's literally the actual Avatar: The Last Airbender plot, which they sued so that they couldn't be it. First it was the land, then it was water, then the evil fire people showed up.
Right. So they're just literally taking Avatar. Yeah. The Last Airbender or the Blue Aliens.
Did you see it in theaters IMAX 3D?
No.
Oh, well, that's why you got.
You have to see it in 3D.
No, I saw it. I watched it at Studio 35. That's where I watch my movies at.
I did not see the first one in theaters, And then when I saw the second one, we saw it in theaters with all that. And it was like, oh, this is what, and the technology is obviously better, but like, this is what everyone was talking about. Like, this is visually stunning.
Yeah, the first Avatar, Mike Bennett, his family had like a curved TV, one of those ones when they first came out with the crazy like HD, and on it you can get them for like $400 now, but I'm sure that TV was very expensive when the first one came out. I was watching it on that TV. I'm like, first of all, the effects are fantastic. It looks great. But I couldn't wrap my mind around. It looked so good on that TV where I'm like, that's fake. But Mike was like, yeah, it's fake, dude. It's all CGI. And then I had to remind myself, like, yes, you're right. This is fake. These are not real.
They filmed it in like a warehouse, basically.
Crazy.
Not on Pandora with the Na'vi.
I wish they did. That's James Cameron's fourth Avatar movie, where they're going to go to Pandora.
They actually go to this world.
They're going to space travel.
Yeah.
They're going to find it.
It takes 6 years to get there.
Is that how long?
That's what it says in the movie.
He's already on the rocket ship. Nate, what do you have for us tonight?
All right, this weekend, Alabama is going to be playing Oklahoma in the college football playoffs. But, of course, Kalen DeBoer has been linked to quite a few jobs recently. He put out a statement this weekend. I have not spoken, have no interest in speaking with anyone else about any other job. I am fully committed to this program and look forward to continuing as the head football coach at the University of Alabama. Translation: after they lose to Oklahoma, he will be the head coach of Michigan.
Yeah, did you find it weird that he released this statement like through Alabama's NIL?
Yeah,
their NIL arm.
Their NIL, they have this interesting thing where, like, they actually have, I believe, like reporters. Or one person who writes these. There's like stories you pay to, like you would for Bucknuts, for instance, or Letterman Row or whatever. Like they have it, but you're paying towards the NIL and whoever they employ there. So it is interesting. I actually pointed this out to Ross Bjork at one point and was like, "Would you guys do this?" And he was like, "Well, I don't know if this has like how that all works, but." That's why it goes through them. It's basically like their PR department.
Sure. Yeah, they're like their comms PR department.
Yeah, but they just have more stuff. They have, hey, I wrote this story about Ryan Williams type of thing and whatnot. So interesting idea. But yes,
I'm envisioning this job being like Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda, right?
Yes,
he works for the team, but he also is a journalist who writes about the team.
Yes, that is a good comp. Look, I agree. I don't know what he wants to do. We've heard there's.
I think we'll all find out.
This is the coaching equivalent of getting the letter, or the vote of confidence from the AD later on.
But listen, that job. Where do you put Alabama in terms of like national relevance job? Because I mean, we know what Nick Saban did. Okay, like no one's arguing what Nick Saban did as one of the greatest college football coaches of all time. Right? The greatest college football coach of all time. Like you're stepping into the shadow of a giant in Kalen DeBoer, which quite frankly, like you were never going to be able to uphold that standard. And if that is the standard moving forward, I understand from a Kalen DeBoer perspective, like, wow, it's unattainable, to make these people, to make these fans happy. So with that being said, like, I got to leave. I'm going to go somewhere else. You go to a place like Michigan. All right, good standards, high standards. They expect their team to win. They expect their team to compete for national championships. But you lose to Florida State in the first game of the year, and people aren't calling for your job immediately in your second year. Kind of what happened last year when they had 3 losses and they missed out on the playoffs. So ultimately, I think it just comes down to Kalen DeBoer. Like, you have what it takes to win a national championship at Alabama. You have what it takes to win a national championship, in theory, at Michigan. And so where do you want to coach, right? I think at the end of the day, that's the question. Where do you want to be at? You want to be up in Ann Arbor, or do you want to be in Tuscaloosa? Because the money's going to be comparable either way.
I think it's also worth pointing out, you ask about that Alabama program, like since Bear Bryant left that job in 1982.
Yeah, they were bad.
They've had 6 10-win seasons before Nick Saban arrived.
Yeah. And I use bad in air quotes, like bad as in just very mediocre.
Right. And like, so the rise of the SEC and Nick Saban and all that kind of culminated at a great time to make that a great job. Mm-hmm. Is it a great job if, say, the Big Ten wins a 3rd straight national championship this year? The SEC hasn't done much. ESPN can spout whatever they want, but
they have the rights to the
in
player.
terms of money and everything, Alabama's the 5th best job in the SEC.
Yeah.
Georgia's better than them. Yeah. Texas is better than them.
LSU.
Florida, LSU.
Yeah, and look, I think that stadium seems to be awesome. I've never been there. I'm excited to go in a few years, assuming Ohio State gets to play. But
that's a whole different conversation for a different day.
But do you want to live in Tuscaloosa?
I don't know. I've never been there.
Me neither. I've been to Ann Arbor though. Other than it being cold, take the Michigan stuff out of it.
I've been to Birmingham, Alabama.
Ann Arbor's a nice town. I don't know.
He's also from South Dakota.
Yeah.
So I don't think the cold bothers him.
No, should not bother him too much. In fact, the heat may be a bigger issue for him and his family.
Nate, what else you got for us tonight?
Speaking of Michigan, ESPN and others this week in the Detroit News reported Michigan has commissioned a Chicago-based law firm, Jenner & Block, to investigate the culture of the athletic department after everything that went down this weekend. Jenner & Block have basically been their lawyer since 2022, so they brought them back to figure out what is going on, and specifically, let's figure out why Ward Manuel still has a job.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting situation to kind of keep your eyes on, right? And I know that they're going to be launching this investigation. I don't know if it's going to be public findings. I mean, it is a public
This could very much just be a PR thing.
It could be a PR thing. It could be, hey, this is what we've actually found out that's going on inside. And I think it's a whole athletics department, right? It's not. Is it not?
It's
not
the
just
entire athletics department.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. So this is going to be kind of a big self-investigation as to what is going on. But yeah, I think with everything that is going on, you had to do something. And I don't know if we'll ever find out the reports from them or if that will just be shared directly to the chancellor's board of regents, kind of whatever they call it up there. But yeah, that's a rather large piece of the puzzle that I would think that a lot of people will be interesting what this law firm that represents them find out about the culture and everything that's been going on up there.
Yeah, I would be interested to find out what the verdict is, so to speak, because as we've talked about, it's not just the Jim Harbaugh, Connor Stallion stuff. It's not just this Sharon Moore stuff. There's been FBI investigations. There's been way more that's gone on. You even go to the basketball program and Juwan Howard and some of the stuff that was going on there. So, yeah, I don't know. Is this firm? Does this say? I thought I read somewhere that they were Michigan, or at least one was a Michigan alum.
Well, I think, Nate, you just said that they
represented them since 2022. They investigated the former president when he left for whatever he was doing.
Hopefully they do the right job is my
Yeah, hopefully this isn't just a cleanup job for them.
I have no clue where they graduated from, if they're Michigan alums or not.
I thought I saw that somewhere.
Buckeye Hoops had a thriller over the weekend. We're going to get into that coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan. Get Eco.
ECO. Aaron, how is a regular water heater different from a tankless water heater?
A regular water heater keeps a tank of water hot and ready for you to use when you need it.
Get Eco.
ECO. And a tankless water heater?
A tankless water heater instantly heats the water for you whenever you need it, so you never run out of hot water.
Get Eco.
ECO.
That's what makes regular water heaters and tankless water heaters different.
But they're also both alike.
Yes, they are.
They both heat water.
Get Eco.
ECO.
But there's another way they are alike.
What's that?
They both need to be flushed out once a year if you want to avoid big problems.
Well, I have a solution.
Really?
EcoFi Advantage. Flushing out your water heaters is just one of the long list of things they do for you every year for just $28 a month.
Get Eco.
ECO. EcoFi Advantage.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Don't miss a minute of the Ohio State football postseason presented by CareSource, Kroger, and Spectrum. Celebrate the culmination of the 2025 season with all of Buckeye Nation and follow along on the official athletic site. From the opening postseason kickoff to the final whistle in Miami, we have you covered. It's the 2025 Ohio State football postseason presented by CareSource, Kroger, and Spectrum. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/postseason central 2025 now for more information. Go Bucks!
You get up early on snow days because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to thrive in the winter. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $4,000. Now through December 31st, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Find your local Kubota dealer at BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com. New creamy parm pizzas are now at Donato's. A decadent new sauce on 2 delicious new pizzas. Try the crave-worthy chicken veggie parm with roasted chicken, fresh veggies, and that rich creamy parm base. Or the savory bacon spinach parm, where smoky bacon meets fresh spinach for parm pizza perfection. Craving something different? Create your own creamy parm pizza today. Donato's. Gotta love more.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
The best outcomes for treating cancer come from early detection and early diagnosis.
The James Cancer Diagnostic Center at Ohio State
is designed to provide rapid evaluation and a clear diagnosis.
We are transforming care by giving patients direct access
to cancer experts who study and treat cancer every day.
If you think you have cancer, the choice is clear.
Choose the James Cancer Diagnostic Center.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny skies, a bit breezy out there and still very cold on this Monday. Temperatures only in the teens, down to the low teens early on Tuesday morning with partly cloudy skies and light winds. Some sunshine back on Tuesday with back in the mid-30s for high temperatures. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend this show. The other dentist is a Michigan fan. Yuck. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Mick Walker of Letterman Row. He's going to join us coming up here at 7:30 this evening. Today's fan poll at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan. Will you continue to follow the Browns and or the Bengals for the rest of the season? Yes or no? I cannot speak to that. I'm not a Bengals or Browns fan. I will follow them, though, because that's the thing to do here. Obviously, you get moody Joe Burrow last week, and then they come out. He was limping today, I guess, and they get just absolutely demolished by the Ravens at home, shut out at home. If you're going to have a bad defense and pay a bunch of money to your offense, tell you one thing that can't happen. You can't get shut out at home. They did that yesterday. And then the Browns are the Browns, and they got absolutely hammered by the Bears yesterday.
When a player on the opposing team literally hands the ball to another person to run it back for a 100-yard return.
Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough day if you were a Bengals or Browns fan, no doubt. Listen, I thought I was watching the Browns game pretty heavily yesterday. I thought Shador made some pretty good plays. Like his deep ball accuracy is terrific. They caught the Bears off guard a bunch of times, but you go into that building with like minus 10-degree weather against a team who leads the NFL with takeaways. It was going to be a tough day for that offense, and then you add in all the injury concerns that they've had and all the guys who they were missing on the offensive line. Myles Garrett, I think the one thing you're looking for if you're a Browns fan right now is Myles Garrett in the sack record, Myles Garrett getting Defensive Player of the Year, and I saw the odds on that earlier. It's like minus 10,000 or something like that. So that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. And then your eyes go immediately to the draft, right? Like, what are you going to do? Do you think you have a quarterback in Shedeur Sanders, or are you going to go elsewhere? And I have no idea, no clue what the Browns are thinking about doing in the draft. None. Zero. And a couple of those interceptions, one at least, wasn't even Shedeur's fault, and Bears defensive back just made a heck of a play on the football.
I was talking at my local NFL Sunday watering hole to some Browns people towards the end of that game about, like, what do you do? You know, what do you want to see them do going forward? And most of the people, and now this was 3 Browns fans. I don't want to make it sound like there was a mass group, but I think 2 of the 3 said, you think there's enough with Shedeur, given what you think will be in this draft, to go address some other things, give Shedeur a full season, maybe rework that offensive line.
You got to rework it.
And, try and come out next year. See if you got it. If you don't, you're back at the same spot. But now you have, say they take Arvell Reese. I don't know, Carnell Tate, somebody like that, an offensive tackle maybe.
Caleb Downs.
Yeah. No, the Caleb Downs needs to sit for another team out there. But, the point is, I think most Browns fans would be okay letting Shedeur play a full season, or at least, give him the start of that season. You did just draft 2 quarterbacks.
Also, he got 0 first-team reps in all of OTAs and training camp. You threw him into the fire, and you expect it. And again, he made some good plays, he made some bad plays. We have a super small sample size on him, but I think you can at least say that he's better than what Dylan Gabriel has. I think you've already figured that part out.
Yeah. Despite what Dylan Gabriel's girlfriend may be posting on social media.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah.
People are taking to social media. Love that.
She's not happy about things. But yeah, I think after you draft 2 quarterbacks, you got to at least give one a longer shot.
Yeah.
And use picks that you've got to address them else. It'd be different if there was a Joe Burrow coming out or somebody like that.
It's a pretty thin class.
Yeah, I think Fernando Mendoza's a solid, prospect, but I don't think he is, hey, we need to trade up with the Titans if you're the Browns to go get him.
Let me ask you guys this question. Which organization right now is more dysfunctional, the Browns or the Bengals? Because the Bengals...
Yes.
The Bengals yesterday, if you didn't see that, got fined by the NFL for not clearing the snow off of from their stadium down at Paul Brown Stadium or Acrisure Stadium. I don't even know what it's called anymore, but they got fined by the NFL because you have to do it. It's like league bylaws that for spectators, you have to clean it off. And Mike Brown saying, we're not even going to worry about it. We're just going to leave this where it's at. Then the Bengals, from a footballing perspective, Zach Taylor's done nothing to help his job out this year. And then from a footballing
Breaking news, Mike Brown is cheap.
Right?
Cheap. He's cheap. He's willing to pay the fine.
He's willing to pay the fine, and he paid your 2 wide receivers. So that's a bad narrative, Nate. I don't even know what the fine was. Maybe the fine was less than what it would take to pay the employees to clean off the stadium. And if that were the case, then I would understand it from a Mike Brown perspective.
Why don't you just do what the Bills do and open the gates early, let the fans come in and clean it off? They do that for their home games.
I also saw that, and you've experienced this so much over at Historic Crew Stadium, and I did as well. There were a bunch of people unwilling to go into the game early because they wanted to tailgate and either be in their cars or whatever to stay warm.
If you're going to watch your team get shut out.
And then a bunch of people rushed in to try to go to the Bengals game, and there was a huge hour line to get into the gates because they were understaffed at the gates, which was a huge
demand.
Yes, which was a huge problem over at Historic Crew Stadium when they used to play there. And then, from a Browns perspective, I don't know. I also don't know what Kevin Stefanski's done to help his job out this year. I don't know which one is more inept. At this point, I think it's a tight race between the both of them.
I just can't take Zach Taylor as my coach anymore.
No?
I can't deal with it anymore.
Yeah, it's just...
He's got to go.
It's been bad, Nate. It's been really bad. And I know that you can play the breaking news center again if you want. It's Bengals football this year, Bengals football last year. Poo. Very, very bad.
Very, very bad.
And underwhelming. Now, I know a lot of that came, Joe Burrow missed a ton of the season this year and, should only be coming back right now. But still, you were already out of the playoffs and then you get skunked at home. I don't know. Pat, what did you make of the Buckeye basketball effort on Saturday evening? Thriller. Double overtime, 89-88. Ohio State survives against West Virginia up in Cleveland. It was a crazy basketball game.
I liked the ultimate fight of the team because it started to get away from them a little bit. 10-point halftime deficit.
16 in the second half.
I got to 14.
16.
I went back and checked that. I think the stat thing
Paul Keel said 16.
Yeah, well, if you go and do the math on the score.
You calling Paul wrong?
I think the stat broadcast, actually I know because I have the stat broadcast pulled up here and it does say 16. But if you actually look at them, you know how have you watched Cavs this year?
No.
The Cavs home broadcast, above the score, it has the diff. It's the differential basically for point spreads, but it changes after every bucket. If you had that, it didn't get higher than 14. But point being, it was not going well early in the second half.
Green jacket.
Yeah. But I did like once, especially Bruce Thornton, but other guys too, contributing here. And look, I think this team has to have the fight they had in the second half and overtime all the time. Like some of the things we talked about in the offseason with some of the transfers haven't come to fruition yet. We'll see what happens. I think Christoph Tilley dealing with this foot injury has really hampered what he can do. Brandon Noel, I know he had the big game against Northwestern. That hasn't come off. I would not be surprised if Amari Bynum is starting at that spot in the future.
Thing, man, he was doing everything on Saturday. If you're buying stocks and futures on players, Amari Bynum was fantastic. 38 minutes, true freshman.
Yeah, most in the second half. Well, obviously overtime too, but most of that came in the second half.
17 points for Amari, was 7-11 from the field. Biggest thing for him, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. All of those were very critical. 3 blocks, 9 rebounds, and he was also very good at not fouling West Virginia.
Yeah.
And to do that against a team who is always like in the top 5, top 10 in defensive efficiency, to not be drawn into getting charges or sloppy fouls underneath the rim in a very physical game, that's a performance that I think we're going to look back from maybe towards the middle end of this year and say that performance by Amari Bynum kind of it leapt him into an entirely different role on this team.
Yeah, I think like I was saying, I think it could very well make him a starter, especially if Brandon Noel is not producing. I don't know if it happens immediately because this was sort of a breakout performance. Now you got to see it again from Bynum. But
and you get Carolina. On Saturday,
right. But I do think, look, this was and we talked to Adam Jardy last week. Like this was a game after you lost to Pitt on the road. You could not then go and lose to a West Virginia team who has had a decent start to the season, but like I think in KenPom going into the KenPom rankings going into the game, they were 74th. Ohio State's like 32. So you're supposed to win this game. And, like I said, they started to let go of the rope there in the first half. And, Bruce Thornton, I mean, this team goes as far as Bruce Thornton. I don't care how much help you've gotten him.
And he was inefficient in the first half.
Yeah. And look, he was playing really good defense on on West Virginia's best player, Huff.
Hunter Huff.
Yeah. And he did a good job in that first half. Huff got going in the second half, but so did Bruce Thornton. I think they finished 24 points for Huff, 21 for Thornton. So, and look, Bruce comes up with a big play with 2 seconds left, right, to make that basket.
So strong. Such a strong take.
I still don't understand, and this was something we didn't talk about after they did lose to Pitt, not putting somebody on the inbound passer.
I did it again.
They did it, and this time it worked. Like, you steal the inbounds, but for me, why make it easy when you know they've got to throw at the length of the court? I understand the philosophy, sort of like a prevent defense of, hey, let's get an extra guy back there.
When do prevent defenses work, though?
Well, they work sometimes.
I know that they work, but how many times have you watched a football game when you're going to your base prevent defense and then a team who has done nothing against your team or you haven't done anything against that team, like gets into 2-minute mode and just starts eating chunks of the field up like rapidly?
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, the reasoning for the football 2-minute defense is you're hoping you chew clock, right? Yeah, they may move the ball, but they're not going to strike as quickly as, if your guy gets beat because you're in man coverage. In basketball, you're throwing it the length of the court anyway. Put a big guy in front of the guy inbounding it and make that difficult on him. I know coaches have different philosophies, and I'm not saying that this is the wrong. This is just something that I would like to see in those situations. And look, this goes back. Chris Holtman didn't do it often. So Jake Diebler, obviously, from that staff. But you're now 1-1 in not putting somebody on the inbounds pass when you need to play defense for that final possession.
Tune in Saturday to see what happens next with Buckeyes. Will they or will they not guard the inbound.
Hey, look, if they are in a position at that end of the game to have to make that decision, I think you played a pretty good game against UNC.
Mick Walker of Letterman Row. He keeps us up to date with Ohio State recruiting coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's a great time to save on 2 packs of Kroger butter. 16-ounce packages are on sale for only $5.99 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Take action and get expert service from Logan Services. Heating service calls are just $79. Furnace tune-ups are also $79. And plumbing service calls are just $79. We work in your neighborhood, and scheduling online is quick and easy. So visit our website to book your appointment now. For fast, friendly service, choose Logan Services.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Introducing Optimized IT, the managed services division of Modern Office Methods. With our cutting-edge managed IT services, we bring proven management strategies to the table to support your current IT team. That's not all. Our experienced team provides insight on how to maximize efficiency, helping you achieve your goals faster. Concerned about security? Our backup solutions help guarantee your data is protected around the clock, giving you peace of mind. Start at OptimizedIT.net for your free IT assessment. Stay ahead, stay secure, and stay optimized.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State National Championship quarterback and former CareSource kid, Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. Seeing that CareSource heart around town, I just knew they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. This is so much more than health insurance. CareSource, today and always. Trusted. Visit caresource.com.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time for your daily dose of vitamin B. B stands for Buckeyes, just in case that wasn't clear. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hanging out with Pat Murphy tonight. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll let you know that we here on The Buckeye Show, brought to you by CareSource and United Healthcare. Right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our guy. He is of Letterman Row. He is Mick Walker. Mick, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Is your head spinning from all the portal news today? Like, how are you able to keep track of everything? Because I thought my eyes were going to go cross a little bit earlier when I was on 3, just tracking all of the quarterbacks that have already entered the portal, Mick.
Yeah, it's been crazy, but I try and keep a little hush about it because my beloved colleague, Jeremy Birmingham, the night before the day of National Signing Day, published a story that said a drama-free signing day, and then Brian Hartline left, and Chris Henry Jr. took it till Friday. So I try and refrain from saying anything's going to be drama-free or it should be pretty calm for Ohio State, just because that's exactly, as Ryan Day likes to say, when you think you got it, that's when you get got, or something along those lines. So we don't try and act like we got it.
Yeah, it's funny. Jeremy asked me the day before when we were leaving the Woody, like, why are you don't cover recruiting? Why are you coming to the recruiting press conference? And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like I should be there when they have stuff like that. And he's like, okay, so FOMO. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then obviously all that stuff you mentioned goes on. And I told him, this is why. And he's like, you were right. You were right. Mick, the Legend Bay situation obviously continues to play out. Could you update us on what the latest is and kind of where you see this going with the current Tennessee signee, but maybe not for long?
Yeah, the latest is just kind of a wait out period. I think everybody initially after the story kind of to blow up about how he's kind of being held, he's in a holding pattern right now with his NLI, and I think everybody just figured. I was told by somebody at the Big Ten Championship that works at Ohio State that said 2 weeks, which is around the time by then at that point where you probably get towards transfer portal time. But obviously, I think Tennessee's kind of seen how the situation's come out. Sam Spiegelman down in Texas has done a great job reporting on the situation. And a lot of it's kind of what we had heard that Wednesday night after National Signing Day, that, you know, his mom really wanted him to go to Tennessee. His mom went up and visited Tennessee without him to kind of look at houses and look at different situations. And when I was told that initially, I was like, oh, this seems a little far-fetched. Maybe this is called kind of hearsay. And then Sam kind of confirms it, reports it. So that's the situation we're dealing with. And the more that's going to come out that Tennessee's holding on to this and kind of dragging their feet about letting him go. I think the Tennessee started to feel more pressure that they just need to let the kid go and allow him to make the decision. I think the mom and the family started to feel that same way as well.
How often does this happen, Mick, when you get into these big-time recruitments, and not even necessarily big-time recruitments, where kid, the player who's actually going to be enrolling in this school and deciding where they want to spend the next 3 to 5 years if they choose to not enter the transfer portal at any point, has differences with their family or with their mom and dad, brother, sister, whoever it may be. Like how often do, these conversations happen where family leans one way, player leans the other? Because I imagine it's not like a crazy disparity. This one just happened to be a very public one involving an Ohio State target.
Yeah, I imagine that a lot of those conversations maybe happen behind closed doors where parents say, I really like this visit that we went here, or the coaching staff here. But a lot of it never really gets to us. There are obviously this one where it becomes public. I think the late Alex Collins, who played running back at Arkansas and then went on to play in the NFL, there was a great, I think it's well documented, the story about how his mom didn't want him to go to Arkansas or wherever he originally committed to, and kind of just left the school on signing day, wouldn't sign her part of it, similar to what's going on with Legend, how his mom has signed her part or waited until he flipped to Tennessee to do it, kind of thing. And then there's obviously the well-documented one with the Under Armour All-American Bowl with Landon Collins and his mom saying she wanted him to go to LSU. Like, when they do eventually come out, they're obviously well-documented because it's kind of interesting to see the family dynamic. But most of them, you don't really hear about this this really happening because they stay kind of behind closed doors. And the other part of it is Ohio State recruits guys. And I think Legend's a great kid, so it's not a knock on him at all. Ohio State typically recruits guys with great families and standout people around them. And this situation is just a little bit different with kind of what's been reported about the family and the situation going on.
Mick, the transfer portal, we sort of touched on that at the top. How active do you expect Ohio State to be once that opens? And are there any positions that you think need to be addressed via the portal?
Yeah, about as active as Ohio State's ever going to be, I assume, because you know it, Pat, and I imagine Beam can kind of see it or feel it too. Ohio State recruits at a level where they're guys they can get. You don't typically find those type of guys in the transfer portal. You cherry pick your spots. You obviously go get a Caleb Downs, and you get a Quinshon Junkins when he starts calling, or when you have the opportunity to bring in maybe a C.J. Donaldson for this team, or there's different guys on the roster, Davidson Igbinosun a couple years ago. When you find those specific talents, you got to go get them. But this is a defense that's losing a lot. Potentially Caden McDonald, likely Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese is likely gone as well, and Sonny Styles is gone. So you're looking at a lot out of that linebacker room. I think James Laurinaitis likes what they have there with Riley Pettit and Peyton Pierce. But maybe there's a guy there you're going to need depth along the defensive line. So whether that's the brother of Darius McKinley, the 2026 signee, Dominic McKinley transferring out from LSU, or just other bodies along the line, I think that's something with the defensive line, linebacker, and then I think Ohio State really likes what they have in Fahim Delane as a freshman safety, and I think they're a big fan of Blaine Bradford, who they signed out of Baton Rouge this cycle to come in and play early alongside Jalen McClain in the secondary. But obviously, if you lose a player of Caleb Downs, you can't just kind of hope and pray you got the right guy. You probably take as many chances and as many bodies as you can to fix that solution and fill the gap that Caleb Downs leaves behind.
He is Mick Walker of Letterman Row with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Do coaches, administrators, like general managers, Mick, like this new one-time transfer window? Again, it's from the 2nd to the 16th of January when this is officially going to open, and I think it's maybe 5 days after teams play in the national championship too. Like there are, extensions for teams who play that late into the season. Like, do they like it more than the double portal window, or how are they kind of reacting to this?
I think Ryan Day was asked about it midseason. I think he's very staunchly against the timing of the one period I do think most coaches or most people, whether that's Ryan Day or Mark Antoni, would agree that one window is the proper thing to do in the proper time. I think it's just right now putting it where times like you mentioned, Ohio State competing in the college football playoff, or that's why you saw a lot of these coaching searches kind of get thrown around, because you want to have everything set for the portal, and that's what makes the situation for our friends up in Ann Arbor all the more sticky. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to Ohio State and just kind of filling out the roster, I don't think they love it, but I think it's kind of the cards they got dealt, and they've braced for it. I mean, that's why you signed 27 signees in a high school class, and you get multiple depth spots at each position maybe Braxton Rimbert, the linebacker they flipped from Wake Forest, is a little bit more intriguing than any guy you could get in the transfer portal at linebacker. So you develop him for 2 years and see if he can become a hit instead of having to pay for a top-tier guy in the transfer portal a year from now.
You just spoke about Michigan. Obviously, don't need to recap what's going on with them in the last week. What's going on with their incoming class, Mick? And then they don't have a head coach as of right now. We'll see what happens. I know Caleb DeBoer being courted there for sure, other college coaches, but what's going on inside of that Michigan class that just came in? Because I'd imagine that some of them, if not most of them, have to feel that they had a fast one pulled over on them.
Yeah, of course. And the whole idea of a Michigan min has kind of been joked about, and obviously it should be at this point based on everything that goes on, but there's a lot of overlap between the guys Ohio State recruits and the guys Michigan recruits on the recruiting trail. They're all high quality. So you think about that, they're all well thought out and that smart. So when a situation like this happens, they're smart enough to know that, hey, maybe we should take a beat, see who they hire as a head coach. We're going to early enroll and maybe get to sit down with them that first week. And if we don't like it, we can jump in the transfer portal right around then. And that's maybe that's what you think a guy like Carter Meadows is thinking about, Savion Hyder, some of these real top tier guys, because the guy that recruited him, the guy that signed, the guy that agreed to pay them, I assume, a lot of money in the NIL aspect of it all, is no longer there. So you take a beat, you figure out who's going to be in next, and kind of roll with it from there. But I imagine, obviously, again, I don't cover Michigan, and that's not what we're trying to talk about. But I imagine these guys are kind of sitting on their hands and trying to be patient, just to wait to see it plays out.
Mick, the 2027 class for Ohio State's off to a good start. Who should fans know about as we head into that cycle? And how do you feel like the Buckeyes set up to fill out the rest of it? I know we're early, but just at this point.
Yeah, we'll start with, there's three guys I think we should really focus on if we're talking about just names to know. Quentin Cypher is a 2027 linebacker out of the Raleigh area. He's going to commit at some point this week, maybe towards the end of the week, and I think it's Ohio State, Georgia battling down the stretch there. I would give the hand up, the current lead to Ohio State. That's James Laurinaitis' top target at the position next cycle, so that's a name to know. And then there's Brock Williams, the 27 tight end out of Libertyville, Illinois, who's the top target for Keenan Bailey, and I think Ohio State's battling Georgia there. I would give Ohio State the slight lean as well in that recruitment. He wanted to decide early. I think the agents and the money aspects have kind of gotten into his view right there and kind of maybe told him to slow down. But it still wouldn't surprise me if Brock and his family know, and then they decide to go with the spring commitment. And the third one is one that we'll probably talk about for a long time, is David Gabriel Georges, the running back out of Tennessee by way of Canada. He's been a top target for Carlos Lockman since he was in 8th grade. That's when he offered him. He offered him at Oregon. They've continued to recruit him. They got him on campus for a game this fall, a couple of visits in the offseason, and they're battling Tennessee there. And that's the other thing, is Savion Hyder bounces to the portal. Tennessee.
Ooh, it's gone.
Door for David Gabriel Georges, maybe, but overall, I think Ohio State's in a good spot for David Gabriel Georges, or DGG, as we like to call him on the Letterman Lounge message board, regardless of where he stands right now.
Nick, do you have a big takeaway from Manchester United and Bournemouth finishing in a thrilling 4-4 draw today?
I really wanted to repeat the tweet that Pat put out, and just to repeat it on air, just to really feel like I got it going on. But all I know is I dislike Celtic right now, and I think there was something about Ronaldo on that tweet or something there. And
David Beckham.
Like that. David Beckham, that's what it was. David Beckham. I'm out on David Beckham, out on Celtic, but I'm in on the Buckeye Show anytime Beam asks. I'm sorry about the last time Beam as well.
Oh, you're good, buddy. No worries. Stuff happens. Don't even lose one blink of sleep over it. Mick, always appreciate the time. Have a fantastic Monday evening. Always enjoy it, and we'll check in again soon, okay?
Thanks, Beam. Thanks, Pat.
There he goes. Mick Walker, Letterman Row, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We got some electrifying Buckeyes in the NFL right now. That's in hashtag Buckeyes next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Busy schedule? This is Ryan Krieger, and Krieger Ford has you covered. Krieger Ford offers pickup and delivery, or our mobile service van will come right to you. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT. Kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at townwithaneproperties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Picture it. Your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps, spiced cider in every glass, laughter around every plate. At Kroger, we know these moments matter, and we make it easier to bring them to life with quality that's affordable in every aisle. This season, don't just host, make every moment unforgettable. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
The Jackets are back at Nationwide for a battle with the Ducks. Live fan coverage starts Tuesday night at 6:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Fan.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. Football runs deep in my family. My dad played here, and my brother and I are proud to carry on that tradition. At Monogram Homes, family matters too. They treat every homeowner like one of their own, building with care, precision, and pride. Monogram doesn't just build houses, they build homes, crafted just for you. So whether you're starting your first home or designing your dream space, Monogram Homes has got your back every step of the way. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at the Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Coming up here at 8 o'clock, we'll get you out to Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers taking on the Dolphins tonight. Who you got? You got the Steelers or the Dolphins?
Steelers are at home, right?
Yeah. No TJ Watt.
No TJ Watt,
Punctured
yes.
lung.
But, that does not sound fun.
No.
I've never had any sort of lung issues, but I can't imagine that's a pleasant time.
I've never had my football team stab me so hard my lung collapsed.
Well, also, don't forget, that's how Tyrod Taylor also got a punctured lung as he was the starting quarterback. Was he the starting quarterback for the Jets at the time? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Jets or the Chargers, someone. So it's not the first instance where that has happened in NFL history because it was the same like dry needling stuff that Tyrod Taylor had that TJ Watt got. Then he had to be rushed to the hospital. But yeah, a self-inflicted wound by the Steelers. I'll take Pittsburgh at home tonight.
He was with the Chargers.
Okay, that's what I said. All right, cool. All right.
Yes, I will go with the Steelers at home.
Yeah, I think it should be fine. Big night for Cam Hayward. So I was perusing some of the legal sports gambling sites, and would it shock you? Let me give you some odds, Pat. All right, who do you think, according to online websites, is the favorite to win the AP NFL regular season MVP award, which is traditionally a quarterback award?
Is it still my guy Oh, I didn't.
Your guy Matt Stafford.
Yes, I was.
It is Matt Stafford.
Okay.
I just wanted to throw that in there for you.
Yeah.
This is where.
I hate that, by the way.
Why?
Because.
That's not a real answer. I hate that because
there was so much hype, and then he goes out a couple weeks ago, throws 3 interceptions. Like, I don't need this hype. I just need them to quietly go about their business. Now they're starting to deal with some injuries. They play Thursday.
11-3. You're fine.
Yeah. Well, they'll probably be 11-4 after losing the Seahawks.
Oh, stop it.
And then the whole world collapses. Actually, I was actually texting with a friend of mine who's also a Rams fan today, and we were discussing, like, is it the best for them to get a bye?
Well, if they're dealing with injury issues now, yes.
Well, yeah, but like, does 1 week make a huge difference? Maybe, maybe not. But
great home field advantage for them.
Yes, I do think that the home field is big, but like if you have to play in the wild card, I do think there is something to. We talked about this with Ohio State, right? This long layoff. Now that's only a week, but still, it's just the other teams are playing like some really intense games, and then you go up against a team that just got a really big win. And now you've got to like bring it all the way back up after, in the NFL's case, a week off, in Ohio State's case, 3.5 weeks off. It's just a sort of tricky thing to manage. I think you won it, no doubt. Like, it means you were the best team in your conference.
I would take it.
Yeah, I know.
I would. If you're asking me, yes, I would take the number.
Us Bengals fans feel absolutely no sympathy for you at the moment.
No, you don't. Nate.
Okay, apply it to Ohio State. Let's take the. Like, do you feel okay about Ohio State coming out of 3.5 weeks off, playing either Texas A&M or Miami after a win like that?
Yeah, I feel fine.
Okay.
I feel fine about it.
Against those teams, absolutely, I feel fine.
Right. AP NFL Offensive Player of the Year. Care to take a guess as to the odds-on favorite to win the NFL Offensive Player of the Year award?
The NFL?
NFL Offensive Player of the Year award, yes.
Is it not Matt Stafford?
No, this is not the quarterback. This is not like the quarterback.
Oh, okay.
Award that people, this usually goes to like a skill.
Is it JSN?
It is Jackson Smith and Jigba. Minus 550 for JSN. He's having an all-time season. Would you care to take a guess as to who the leader in the clubhouse is for AP NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year? Offensive Rookie.
It was, Emeka for a while, but I can't imagine he's still there.
Emeka is second at plus 250.
McMillan?
He is third at plus 280.
Okay. What position are we talking about?
Running back.
Ooh. Well, it's not what's his name in Vegas.
Correct.
Because he has done very little.
Ashton Genty.
It's probably not Quinn. Is it Travion?
Travion. Okay. There you go. With yesterday's effort, Travion Henderson is currently your odds-on favorite to win AP NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year at plus 190. Emeka is right behind him at plus 250. And even still on the board is Browns running back, former Buckeye, Quinshon Judkins as well. That's a pretty big testament right there to what is going on inside the walls of the Woody Hayes Athletic Center with what these guys are doing in their first year in the NFL. Also, look at Jackson, the year that he is having. That's all these. First of all, every Buckeye, it seems like you turn on an NFL game, they're making big plays. It was a tough one for Lathan yesterday with the late hit, which cost the Panthers a game. We'll see how that affects their playoff standings. But all these guys, Pat, are just coming into the league so ready to play.
Oh, absolutely. I was just pulling up Emeka because I knew he'd slowed down a little bit. He slowed down quite a bit. The last 2 weeks, 4 for 29. Did have a touchdown 2 weeks ago, and then he did have two touchdowns last week. So, but the yardage has definitely dropped, and for a while he was not scoring touchdowns. But yeah, he's been fantastic. The rookie class in general, I think, has been really good. Like, they're almost all of them are at least playing. Like, even Josh Fryer, who I think a lot of people wondered if he'd even make the roster in Arizona. I think he's one of 7 Buckeyes out there. He's playing as kind of their 6th offensive lineman, has filled in a little bit with injuries and stuff like that. So, this is a really good class coming out of Ohio State.
Yeah, it is. I was just checking in on Cody Simon. For some reason, I haven't watched a bunch of Cardinals games this year.
There's not much to watch.
Even though they do lead the league in Ohio State players playing for them. And I asked you, I'm like, how's Cody Simon doing this year? And I go back and look at his game log, and like 4 weeks ago, he had 12 tackles and led the team. He did get hurt against the Texans this past weekend, though, and had 0 tackles and, everything across the board. So I'm guessing it went pretty early on. But yeah, I think that's a massive testament to these guys in the rookie class that's in the NFL, that all these guys are thriving at a pretty high level. Travion, too, like, It's classic Mike Vrabel. Did you see his answer about Travion yesterday? Like, hey, what do you think about his performance, coach? And that was a crazy game anyways. That Patriots-Bills game. Bills down, 17 points, 20 points maybe at one point, and then comes storming back. Travion had a great game, and they asked Mike Vrabel about it, who understandably is upset that his team gave up a 3-possession lead to a division opponent. But he goes, what did you like about Travion's performance? He was good. That's all I said. That is classic Mike Vrabel.
Where do you think he learned that?
You know what, Pat? Probably here.
No, I think Bill Belichick was the one who taught him how to not answer questions.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Bill Belichick, famous for his very fun interviews.
Yeah. I'm so a little bit surprised he didn't just say on to whoever they play next week.
On to, I don't even know who the Pats play. Who's going to win? Who's going to win the AFC? Now that Patrick Mahomes is out, he's got the ACL that gets torn. It's the first time in I don't even know how many years that you haven't seen like a Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, who was it, Peyton Manning, and there was someone else.
It's actually not that long ago that neither of them were in the Super Bowl. That was
this one.
No, I was just saying playoff, like the NFL.
Oh, just
playoffs.
in the playoffs.
The Chiefs got eliminated this week.
Yeah. To answer your question, I think the Broncos win it. I was watching that game yesterday,
awesome.
and
great.
They don't have the explosive offense necessarily, but they have enough weapons.
Though, man.
Sean Payton and what he's doing with Bo Nix, but that defense is good. Got some Buckeyes there too.
Who wins the NFC?
Don't do that. Don't put that on
Come
me.
on, who wins? Give me a hot take. Who wins the NFC? Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't even start.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if it's the Seahawks. If they beat the Rams on Thursday, they'll be in the driver's seat, and they're playing. It only took 6 field goals yesterday, which helped me in a fantasy football game. But other than yesterday, they've been really good on both sides of the ball.
So you're going Broncos Seahawks? Is that your official prediction for the Super Bowl?
Those are my teams that finish first in the conference. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the playoffs. We'll address that when we get to the playoffs.
I'm just hoping that the Bears make the playoffs. There's a crazy.
They're going to make the playoffs.
They're not guaranteed to do anything.
Well,
they're the
only 2 teams are guaranteed.
Chicago Bears football, Pat. Have you watched them any of the last 20 years?
Yeah, they played in the Super Bowl in 85?
Yeah, that wasn't 20 years ago.
No.
That was 40 years ago.
Yeah,
it could be a 40-year rematch if the Pats get there from the AFC and the Bears get from the NFC. Who knows, Patrick?
That could be interesting.
I had a great time. Yes, it would be interesting. I'd be thrilled about that. Had a great time here tonight. Off tomorrow. Let's do it again on Wednesday, shall we?
All right, I'm in.
Everybody have an awesome night. We'll get you out to Pittsburgh. Dolphins and the Steelers up next right here on The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from